What's new? Get ready.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome to episode 49 of the Play to Win podcast. I am your host, Tyler, this week, and I am joined, as always, by my amazing, fantastic, and awesome co-host, Keiran. Keiran, man, how's it going? What's been going on with you? Has life gotten any more hectic, or has it actually lightened up a bit?
No, it's gotten more hectic. I had my my main end of module assessment for one of my uni modules this week, so spent quite a considerable amount of time on that. So once again, I haven't played anything.
Man, you know, the lands between are calling you. Forbidden West is calling you. It's just they're like, come play with us, and you're like, I want to, but I can't. I can't. Life and school, they're taking me away from everything.
Yeah.
It's
also
a damn shame.
Yeah. Also, I do want to know, I realize that the neckbeard isn't a good look, and it will be going away as soon as I buy a new charger for my router.
That I wasn't even thinking about that, but that is funny. And now, as we record this episode, whenever I'm looking at the camera, I will be looking at you, specifically at that area, because you've called it out, and I just want to form my own thoughts on it as we record all this. Audio listeners, you are missing out on Kieran's neckbeard.
No,
but yes, this
really
is
not.
This is the Play to Win podcast show where we break down the week's biggest gaming news through in-depth discussion. There are timestamps in the description if you want to bounce between different discussion points in the episode. Subscribe on YouTube and or podcast platforms, and podcast platforms. Also, if you're on YouTube, hit the notification bell so you know as soon as the video goes live, you can be one of the first people to watch it because it's going live right away, and you know as soon as it goes live right away. It's as simple as that. This episode, we have two main topics of discussion, those being this week's state of play. We're going to be talking about that a bit. And then we'll also be talking about the February 2022 NPDs, which have some pretty interesting statistics, interesting results in there. Be a fun discussion over there. But before we get into that, we got some brief mentions to go over. Got a fair amount of them, so we'll try to get through them as quickly as possible. Of course, Keiran, as you know, raise your hand if you got anything else to say about any of these. Are you ready, my man?
Oui, c'est bon.
Wait, what was the second one?
C'est bon.
I don't French. Is that French or what?
Very good.
I did not know that. I knew we was French. I didn't know c'est bon was.
This is when somebody French goes in the comments being like, "You're not speaking French. That was horrible." I'm like, okay.
Not trying to speak French for real over here. We're not French at all. Anyway, these brief mentions. We finally actually got pricing information on the next gen versions of GTA 5. Well, new gen, I should say, the PS5 and Xbox Series versions of the games. And it's a bit confusing, but I haven't broken down here in a way that makes sense. So on PS5, the GTA 5, the full thing on PS5, which is the story mode and online, will be $10 for the first 3 months. And after that, it will be $40. GTA Online, the standalone version of GTA Online, will be free on PS5 for the first 3 months. After that, it will be $20. Over on Xbox, GTA 5, the complete version, story and online, is $20 for the first 3 months. Then it's $40. And GTA Online's standalone version on Xbox will be $10 for the first 3 months, and then $20 afterwards. A bit complicated, a bit confusing.
Yeah.
But it, once you break it down like this, it's like, all right, the information is clearly put out. It makes sense. Interesting that PS5 is getting a better discount, a better sale than Xbox. But I mean, I guess it's because they have the marketing for it. So I mean, I guess it works out like that. But I also think it's still just good regardless that they're having it be on sale on both platforms for 3 months for everybody. I think regardless of what the pricing is, that's just a smart decision, because people would have balked at it being $40 out the gate, on day one. People would have been like, what? No. If you say it's $10 and $20, then it's just it's a bit more okay, I'll do it as GTA 5. So not that bad. Yes.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna buy it, and now I'm like, I mean, it's $10 on PS5. I might as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. So I'll jump on it at some point. I think maybe Monday or Tuesday. It has to be Monday. I'll do my save transfer, and then I'll try and download it on Tuesday, and we'll go from there.
When does it come out again? The 15th.
The 15th on Tuesday. Yeah. So we'll make our moves. We'll make our moves. Gotham Knights now has a release date. It is now set to come out on October 25th. Cool. Dead Space Remake, which was kind of set for releasing this year, like late this year, it's now been removed to early 2023. The team is now aiming for a release date over there. The team working on the game over, I believe it's EA Motive. They did like a developer stream yesterday, which is Friday as of recording. If it wasn't Friday, it was Thursday. There's again another one. They're like early in development type things. This is where they announced that and also talked about the audio systems for the game and so on and so forth. It was a cool thing. I didn't check it out, but cool little stuff came out of it for sure. Sony and Nintendo are suspending sales in Russia to support the Ukraine amongst a growing number of other companies, which is great to see the gaming industry step up and show out and show their support for Ukraine in all the tragic stuff that's happening over there. And going along with this, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp has been delayed due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. People were noting that, like, yeah, there's like the games in Advance Wars, like the story is like scary accurate to actually what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. So like, yeah, it's kind of just like perfect. It's a good thing that they're like delaying this because it would have just been a PR nightmare if it came out now. So doesn't have a date, it's just been delayed. It'll come out when it comes out. Gaming is that it's not that important in comparison to, you know, having, you know, good optics and reading the room on situations and all. Although that's been delayed, Nintendo has added F-Zero X to the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack. So F-Zero fans, you have your first F-Zero type of support from Nintendo in quite some time in the form of an older game coming to Switch Online Plus expansion pack. Not a bad thing, though. Not a bad thing. Maybe, you know, we could get a new F-Zero at some point in time in the near future. More Nintendo news. Super Nintendo World is opening in Universal Hollywood next year. If I'm correct, it's already open over in like Universal in Japan. So now we know it's going to be opening Universal Hollywood next year, which is very exciting. This also got announced. Princess Peach, she's getting a Lego figure to go alongside Lego Mario. Both this and the Super Nintendo World thing were announced on Mario Day, March 10th. That was about all the Mario stuff we got on Mario Day, which is actually kind of surprising, to be honest. I said it. There we go. I'm trying to cut back on saying that on the show. Skull and Bones, that Ubisoft pirate game that kind of disappeared. It's been in development hell for quite a while. Apparently, early access testing is going to be happening. If you're interested in doing early access private testing and like giving substantial constructive feedback on the game and actually have time to sit and play a lot for it, you can sign up for this early access testing that Ubisoft's going to be doing on the game. So maybe we'll actually be seeing it soon, maybe this summer. Who knows? Another game that's going to be doing some early access stuff, kind of, sort of, is Overwatch 2. Blizzard is releasing Overwatch 2's PvP component in closed beta this April for PC players. You can sign up on the Overwatch website. They're also doing like an alpha right now, but that's like, it's a closed alpha, but only for like Blizzard employees, Overwatch League pros, like a super, super closed sector of people. Like public is not getting us that one. This PvP thing is more of a public thing. So really cool. Keiran, sign up for it.
Yeah, that's what I signed up for it. I'm actually really excited to maybe get my hands on Overwatch 2.
Yeah, let me know how it feels. Let me know how it plays. And if you can record gameplay, do that. Throw it up on the episode when that happens. If you get into the beta,
Yeah.
I thought you had more to say.
No, I mean it's the beta is only on PC, so I'll be able to record gameplay really easily for it. So yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, nice. Amazon. They are reportedly in talks with PlayStation to create a God of War TV series. Neither company has officially stated this, but I believe it was Deadline that kind of put out the giant report about this. Kate broke out this news. So that's cool. And this would also be joining Amazon's other gaming series, Fallout, which they're working on. So very interesting. I think God of War, it lends itself well to both movie or TV, but it depends on the type of story you're trying to tell. If they're going to be adapting the more recent game, TV series would be a better way to go. Yeah, no, like I definitely agree. Do you know what I think God of War what
video game that's been adapted into a TV series that this could learn a lot from is I was going to say The Witcher on Netflix.
Huh.
Like, I mean, obviously they're two entirely separate games and entirely separate like genres and worlds, but I think that a God of War TV show set in like a Witcher kind of style format would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I haven't finished The Witcher. I've only ever seen the first episode of season 1. I've meant to go back and continue it, but I just haven't gotten around to it because Netflix TV show episodes are like an hour long and all.
Yeah.
But I do want to get back to watching it at some point in time.
I've watched series 1 of The Witcher like 8 or 9 times.
How many times did you watch season 2?
Once.
Either that's a shame on you or a shame on the show. One of the two of them.
The former.
I'm just messing with you. In some not so positive PlayStation news, though, 8 more women have joined a class action lawsuit against PlayStation, adding their accounts of sexism at the company. They joined one former employee who spoke out against the company in November. This report came from Axios, Steven Totilo over there. I read it. If you want to read more into it, by all means, go and check out his piece on it. But of course, this isn't a good thing. It's never a good thing. The only reason it's not a main story is because we don't have much more to go on than just this little bit of information. But of course, we want things to be better for women at any and every company. And as we have said on the show many times before, this type of stuff happens everywhere, even if you don't hear about it. So don't think that, just because you're not hearing about it over at, say, Nintendo, that is not happening at Nintendo. Or that it's not because you don't hear about it happening at, say, I don't know, Capcom. That is not happening over there. Like, it could happen. This is for sure happening anywhere and everywhere. So assume the worst until proven otherwise. That being said, of course, we hope that things do get better over there at PlayStation and that the women over at the company
100%.
as a whole just start being treated better. Now, a bit of funny, weird, bizarre news. Snoop Dogg has joined FaZe Clan as part of the board of directors. It's going to be making content for them. I don't know what to say more other than that. It's just, that's a thing that has happened and will be happening in the future. Just wow. Okay.
Yeah, like to put it bluntly, if I could care about FaZe Clan in any way, then this would be interesting to me.
This isn't going to make me care about them any more than I already do, which is not at all.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to care anymore. I'm just like, oh, that's a thing that's happening. All right. All right. Final 3 brief mentions here. Xbox has announced an Idea Xbox event for March 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. UK time. Hopefully it will not be 3 hours long or 4 hours long. Who knows? They did not say a time frame. They just said this is when it starts. Who knows when it ends? Join us to find out. Evo 2022's lineup has been revealed. The games that will be part of this lineup are Street Fighter V, Tekken 7, Guilty Gear Strive, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Dragon Ball FighterZ, King of Fighters 15, Melty Blood Type Lumina, Skullgirl Second Encore, and Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. And last but not least, our final gaming event has been announced in this brief mentions. It is Gamescom. It is returning August 24th to August 28th, both in person and online. And Jeff Keighley also announced himself that, yes, he will be hosting Opening Night Live on August 23rd. So we got some cool stuff to look forward to from Gamescom. And that's going to wrap up all the brief mentions, a fair number of them this week. But I think we got through them in a pretty timely fashion. Yes, Keiran.
Yeah. Just wanted to add in something that is going to make me sound really stupid. Do you want to know what I learned this week?
What did you learn this week?
I should have known, honestly, my entire life. The PlayStation logo, right? You know how it, the like kind of symbol they have?
Don't tell me you just realized what that is.
Yeah, I just realized that was a P and an S. I did not know that.
Oh my Jesus.
I always just thought it was a funny symbol, and then I was looking at it the other day and I'm like, oh wait, that's a P and an S.
I don't have words for you at all right now.
How I'm making it through university, I don't know.
Wow, you just now realized that.
Yep.
Did you just realize that the symbol for Xbox has an X in it?
Wait, it does?
Did you just realize it?
No, I knew that.
Did you just realize that the GameCube logo was a G?
No, I knew that as well.
Okay, just making sure. Just making
Yeah.
sure of these things.
Like I'm only a little dumb. I'm not super dumb.
I know you're not super dumb. Wow. Oh my gosh. All this year, all these years, all this time. Crazy. Well, I guess it's perfect that we're talking about PlayStation anyway, because the first topic of this episode is going to be PlayStation State of Play that happened this week. They announced before it that it was going to be 20 minutes long, focusing on games from Japanese publishers, but we're going to get some news from games like from companies around the world and stuff. And people, of course, people were like, oh my gosh, Final Fantasy 16, Silent Hell, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, Kingdom Hearts 4. Let's get it. Let's go. And I'm just like, guys, no, don't do this to yourselves, because you're going to end up getting disappointed and then saying the State of Play was trash. Don't do this. The only thing that even of any of those pipe dreams that was potentially could have happened would have been Final Fantasy 16. But even that seemed very unlikely because, one, they said that we were going to see the game in the spring. It's not spring yet, even though it's March. And two, Final Fantasy 16, next time we see that game, it's going to be a blowout. It's not just going to be like a brief trailer or anything like that. So even that was very unlikely. But like, hey, you never know. Maybe we do see it. And of course, we saw none of those things that people were hoping for. And of course, you saw a lot of people saying State of Play was trash. It was mid. It was lame. What did I think of it? Because I watched it. It's fine. It was fine. It was just fine. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't spectacular or blowing minds or anything, but it was fine. It was totally fine. What do you think of the of it? What you saw from it at the very least, top level, before we just like get into some of these things?
It was all right.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a few games in there that I'm interested in. Didn't really pay attention to the whole thing, but it's fine.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the State of Play being fine. Like, this was not a showcase. People were expecting showcase announcements from a 20-minute State of Play. You weren't going to get that.
Yeah, like that's exactly what I was going to say. It's like not everything that a PlayStation or Microsoft or Nintendo or whoever announces is like an E3 event outside of E3. Like, just showing off some trailers, dude. Like, chill.
Yeah. So let's get into this. They kick things off with this trailer for a game where it starts off and you hear about mech suits, right? Like people in it's like high-tech stuff. You hear dinosaurs are about to come or whatever. And dinosaurs start falling out of portal from the sky, and they're just running all over the place. And I was like, wait a minute. Is this Dino Crisis? And then you see Capcom Presents, and you're like, is this Dino Crisis? I never played Dino Crisis, but I know people have been wanting to come back. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, whoa, is this Dino Crisis? And the trailer is playing, and I'm like, this is a different Dino Crisis than I ever remembered like seeing it being. And it's not just because it's not Dino Crisis. This game is called Exo Primal. This is called Exo Primal. And I like this comparison I saw online. I saw people say that like it looks a bit like Anthem, but also like Earth Defense Force. And I was like, yeah, that makes total sense. That makes perfect sense right there. You have players on 2 teams of 5 using exosuits to fight dinosaurs. Each suit has like different abilities. Like, so like one suit, this is where the Anthem comparisons come in. Like one suit looks like the giant like tank type suit from Anthem. Another one looks like the one that would like dash around super fast, like the ninja looking one from Anthem. Like each of the suits looks really comparable to ones from Anthem. It's kind of scary how similar they are. But you're out here just fighting hordes of dinosaurs, just running at you, flying at you. It looks absolutely wild and insane, and not necessarily good, but it looks like it'll be like an entertaining time, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the entire time I was watching this trailer, I was like, "Oh, it's Anthem with dinosaurs," because like, to me, it looks almost like an Anthem clone with dinosaurs. So like, I mean. Outside of it, you know, in this you're in a city, and in Anthem you're in like this big open rural place. But like it's Anthem with dinosaurs. Like, come on, look at it.
Yeah, it looks just like, okay, this is a thing that's being made. And That's the thing. Like, people were disappointed it was a Dino Crisis, but at the same time, it's like, do you want the Dino Crisis name on that?
Yeah, exactly.
Would you want the Dino Crisis name or that, or would you rather have that be its own thing and let Dino Crisis like be what you want it to be? Hopefully, when it comes back, and not this, because then this would have gotten way more backlash if it was Dino Crisis. I'm almost positive of that.
Yeah.
So,
like,
really surprising.
This, like, if you were to look at a list of like the dumbest video games ever made, I think this game would be on it.
I mean, so what? It's gonna be on the list with like Goat Simulator.
Kind of,
Bread.
yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it looks like it'll be like a fun way to kill, like a fun way to kill time is what I would describe this game as.
Yeah, it doesn't look. It looks just like I said. It just looks like it'll be like an entertaining time.
Yeah,
it doesn't look necessarily great or bad or terrible. It looks like, this will be just entertaining, a way to just turn off the brain and just shoot dinosaurs. Just like in Earth Defense Force, you turn off your brain and you fight bugs. You fight giant bugs. So it's coming to PS4 though, and PS5 next year. So it's surprising that 3 years in to the generation, companies are still going to be putting games on PS4. Kind of interesting there. I wonder when the first party is going to stop for PS4. I mean, we know God of War is coming to PS4, but other than that, we don't know of any of the first party games that are coming out from Sony for PS4 or PS5. So, I mean, we know Spider-Man is PS5 only, Wolverine PS5 only, but other than that, like, we don't know of any others that might potentially be PS4 only. I mean, PS4 as well. I'm under the mindset that any more first parts are PS5 only. So I wonder when the cutoff is going to be for third parties, when they're going to stop doing PS4. Who knows?
I don't know. One thing I do want to tack on to the end is also coming to Xbox Series X, Series S, Xbox One, and PC.
Yes, that is important as well. Of course, I wrote all this down as I watched the state of play, and of course, this is the state of play. They don't have other platforms in it, but I do know that some of these games are on other platforms. Moving on, we got a new look at Ghostwire Tokyo with just a new story trailer. Really, didn't show too much new. Just gave us, more context to story events. Still looking forward to that game. Still gonna play when it comes out March 25th. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, like, I was just gonna say, every time I see this game, like, it makes me want to play it more and more, but not to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm getting good feelings from it, good vibes. I think previews for the game will be coming out this week, because I know people that are playing it were able to say, I'm playing it now, preview coming soon. So I think previews will be coming this week, so maybe those will get you a bit more excited for it. Then we got another look at Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin with a new trailer that basically just said, hey, there's a new demo out that's available now. You play like the first 3 levels of the game, and your save transfers over to the full game. So that is cool. I haven't played it because at this point I'm like, if I'm going to play this game, I'm just going to play the full game. I'm not going to do a demo. So I'm looking forward to playing the full game though. Probably it's not going to be at launch. It'll be sometime soonish though. Maybe in April I'll get to it. Then we got a new look at Forspoken with a new trailer that gave a bit of story info but showed off a lot of new gameplay. I was very, very, very much interested and excited by the gameplay we saw. Just the new spells that Frey is using in the footage, like the fire spell that she used, like to set fire to a bunch of people, the ice one, the thunder one, that super spell that she used just to crash out on everyone around her. Very, very cool. Super looking forward to this game. It is actually Game Informer's cover story for this month, so they have like some exclusive gameplay footage and story information over there. I haven't read the article yet, but I did see one of their videos of showing off like some of the magic gameplay from the game, and all the combat is based around the spells. Like the spells is the main form of combat in the game, so it looks cool. And we also got confirmation that the game has been delayed to October 11th. It is no longer coming at the end of May, which is good for me. It frees up, like, as of right now, it frees up May and the beginning of June for me in terms of like game releases. So I can fit in other things now in that time frame. Yeah, I mean, this is still a game like I'm really looking forward to. Like I vibe with this game's gameplay a lot, so I'm very much looking forward to playing it. Don't really care they've delayed it. Like, one, it's neither
still
do
coming
I.
out. Yeah, Like, one, it's still coming out this year theoretically, and two, like, I would much rather I mean, we've said this for basically every game that's been delayed in the past, well, since Cyberpunk, but it's like, I would much rather they delay it and get it more polished.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said one delay to give it more polish, work on it some more. So delay it to October. Do what you gotta do. It's 2 weeks before Gotham Knights. So hopefully it's like already October has 2 big games in it for Spoken and then Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
How else is October gonna get filled out this year? We will wait and see. Then we got a couple quick hits here. Gundam Evolution, some multiplayer FPS coming to PS4 and PS5 later this year with a network test for the US and Japan in spring of this year, obviously. Then TMNT, the Cowabunga collection, is coming later this year, and it's just a giant compilation of classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, which I actually saw a lot of buzz for this. A lot of people were super hyped about this, mainly because, I mean, these are games that they play when they were younger, either at arcades or at home. So it just makes sense that people would be super excited about it. I believe this is also coming to Xbox and Switch as well. Same for Gundam Evolution. I believe that's also coming to Xbox and Switch. Do not quote me on that, though. Kieran's finding it right now, so he'll let us know.
Awesome. I know it's definitely coming to Xbox and I think Switch as well. I'm seeing if it's coming to Game Pass. I don't think it is.
I don't believe so either. After that, we got to look at Gigabash. It's basically a kaiju game. It's a multiplayer kaiju game coming to PS4 and PS5 later this year. It gave me heavy War of the Monsters vibes, and it made me just want a new War of the Monsters game because that game was so much fun as a kid. Loved it a lot. Then JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. It's basically I guess you could say a remastered and complete version of the original JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle game, coming early fall 2022. I think there's like 50 characters in it. So if you're into that type of fighting game, by all means, go ahead and get it. And then we're starting to round out the show here. Trek to Yomi. And this was a new trailer we got detailing the story. Trek to Yomi, this is that black and white kind of 2.5D samurai-esque game coming from Devolver Digital. It continues to look really cool. I'm still very interested in it, and we know it's coming this spring, so it's coming soon. It's coming very soon.
Yeah,
sometime in the next couple months for sure. Really looking forward to that one.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna chime in. I'm also really looking forward to this one. The gameplay reminds me a lot. But actually, it looks like a 2.5D Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm really looking forward to. This one is coming to Game Pass day one.
Nice. Maybe I'll play it over there. Who knows? Either there or PS5, one or two. Yeah. And then we got what I would argue is the biggest, not even argue, it's just a fact, I think, the biggest announcement of the show. Returnal Ascension, which is a new free addition to the game, new free update. This adds campaign co-op. So for anyone who's struggling to get to the game on their own, you can jump in with a friend now, which is super cool. It adds it's adding new weapons. There's going to be new story additions in there. And these new story additions come as part of the Tower of Sisyphus that's in the game. So it's basically a survival mode in this endless tower that you're climbing up that just gets harder and harder and harder as you go up the tower. And it looks super cool. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like it seems like it's just gonna really dial down and hone in on what made Returnal so fun. That being that fast-paced, on the edge of your seat combat and action, where you're just like, all right, I'm constantly on the run. You're running, trying to shoot people, dodging and everything, pulling yourself around environments to try and avoid attacks while still getting rid of enemies and all, and just trying to make it to the next room. And it seems like the survival mode in this Tower of Sisyphus is really just gonna double down on it and just give you, like, if you're just interested in that, you've beat the game already. You don't really care about continuing doing runs to the same rooms over and over. You just want to like test yourself. Looks like this is going to be the thing for you. I'm very excited about it, and it comes on March 22nd, which is throwing a wrench in things for me.
Yeah, I'm also like really looking forward to this. I was saying to you before we started to record that this, like, the trailer really makes me want to get back in Returnal because it's a fun game. I've only played like 1 or 2 hours of it so far, so I really need to actually get into that game and finish it. Along with, like, 20 other games that I've like started and not finished yet. So
Yep.
it's on the list. But I think this trailer has definitely pushed it further up the list than it was.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That March 22nd, it's annoying. This is like,
Yeah.
I thought that week was gonna be free of stuff. I thought I was gonna be good. Now it's just like you're here. So
Yeah.
thankfully I still have the game, so I could just like reinstall it on my system and then go from there.
Yeah.
But that'll be fun.
Might play this for a few days before Wonderlands comes out.
Nice. And then with the final two announcements, both from Square Enix. The first one is the Dio Field Chronicle, which is a tactics style strategy game from Square Enix, coming this year to PS4 and PS5. And then they also announced Valkyrie Elysium, which I believe is another entry in the Valkyrie Profile series. Third-person action game from Square Enix as well, also coming to PS4 and PS5 this year. Valkyrie Elysium looked a bit rough visually. I'm not gonna lie about that. Looked a bit rough visually. DFL Chronicle, though, it's just really, I think it's really cool that Square Enix is putting out so many like tactics strategy games in like such a short amount of time. We have this one. We have Triangle Strategy that just came out. Either it just came out or it's like it's about. No, it just came out. So there's that one too. And then there's the rumored Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered that's in the works. So it's just like, oh, it's awesome just seeing them bring this genre back that they kind of like haven't done anything with in such a long time. It's really cool. Even if the game is like not for me at all in any way, shape, or form. Still cool to see. And I think I also saw someone made a joke. It was on Kotaku in the comment section. Someone was like, "Oh, you thought I was Final Fantasy Tactics Remastered, but it was really me, the Dio Chronicle." I was just like, that's a good one. That's a good one. But overall, I mean, that was a state of play. It wasn't spectacular, wasn't amazing. It was just fine. I enjoyed the things I saw there, but I can understand a lot of people being like, there was nothing here for me. I wanted Final Fantasy 16 and the stuffs and the things, and it's just like you weren't going to get the stuffs and the things you wanted.
Yeah,
I was hoping for 16, but even I knew that was like a pipe dream. So keep your expectations in check, people. That way you won't be disappointed so much and just complain that everything is trash when you don't get what you want. All right, let's talk NPDs now for February. This is gonna be a fun discussion because we haven't talked about NPDs in a while. Actually,
nope,
it's been quite some time since we did, and I always like talking NPDs because it's just nice to see like how well certain games sold, where things are, and numbers and all like that. It's always fun to do that, especially for the month of February right now, for a few reasons actually. So let's just start this off with first. We'll say best-selling hardware this month for February. Keiran, you kind of already know about this, but a little bit. So what do you think was the number one selling console in terms of units sold and dollar sales for the month of February?
I don't know in which category it was, but I know it was Switch, Series X,
Yes.
PS5.
That is the exact order. Switch, Series X, and PS5 in that order for the best selling in terms of how many units were sold and the dollar sales for the month of February. That is 100% correct.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that I have seen of the NPDs prior to this conversation.
Right. And although PS5 was the bottom for the month of February in terms of units and dollar sales, it has been the best-selling console in terms of dollar sales for the entire year so far.
Yep.
But Switch has sold the most units this year so far. So it kind of goes to show that like the one thing that's keeping PS5 from being like selling gangbusters is just supply. And the one thing that's keeping Xbox above it right now is the Series S, because they're able to Series S, they're able to make it for with components that they don't need for the Series X to an extent. So they're able to get more of those out there. So it really just, again, begs that question of what would the numbers be like if we weren't in this situation, if there wasn't a chip shortage, if the pandemic wasn't wreaking havoc on things, like where would the PS5 and Series Xbox consoles like really be shaking things out? Like how would this competition, this race really look? But nonetheless, I mean, it's still they're still seeming to sell well and do well.
Yeah.
So good to all three of the platform holders there. But that's not the real most fascinating thing about the NPDs this month for February. And this is where the conversation gets really fun and really interesting and fascinating. And this is where it gets into things that I don't believe Keiran knows, which is why I didn't put this into our main doc. I put this on the side.
Nope. The only thing I've seen is the thing that we just talked about.
Okay. So, Keiran, we're going to talk February 2022 for games. What do you think was the number one best-selling game for February?
That's a hard question. By the way you're looking at me, I'm doubting if it's Elden Ring. I think it is.
Well, I'm looking at you. I'm just looking at you and just listening to your thought process. What do you think is the number one game?
I mean, like
February.
In my head, it's Elden Ring by a landslide. Like, I mean, I assume that, you know, Horizon, Sifu, and like those games did well, but like it's Elden Ring. Surely that's on top.
You would be correct. Yeah. Survey says, ding, ding, ding. Elden Ring.
We're playing Family Fortunes now.
Family Feud.
In the UK, it's Family Fortunes.
Oh, interesting. All right, didn't know that. Well, Elden Ring was the best-selling game of February, and it is the best-selling game of the year so far.
Yeah,
and it has also, here's where it gets crazier. It has also had the second biggest launch of any title released in the past 12 months, coming only behind Call of Duty Vanguard.
That is interesting, actually.
And as of now, Elden Ring is the 5th best-selling game of any game released in the past 12 months, ending February 2022. It was first in sales on Steam and Xbox, and it was second in sales on PlayStation.
I assume after Horizon.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Elden Ring, man.
Yeah.
Elden freaking Ring.
Like, it amazes me because this is probably correct in saying, but I might be wrong, so I'll just preface that. But like, there is a very particular niche of the video game community that buys Souls games, right? Not everyone does.
Here's the thing though, like Souls games have become more and more mainstream with each release, and like Elden Ring is seemingly the one that has completely broken through to the mainstream.
Yeah, I mean that kind of gets to what I was going to say is like yes, obviously the Souls games have always done well, right? Like I'm not saying they haven't, but like there is a very small section of the gaming community who like actually enjoys playing Souls games and like doesn't buy them for the hype or doesn't buy them just because everyone else is, like I did. Like they genuinely enjoy that kind of game. But like there is, I would argue, a much larger portion of the community who doesn't buy them purely because they are difficult games. They're not games that like your average Joe like me can like run through really quickly, right? So it amazes me that Elden Ring has sold as well as it has, considering it is a game that like not a large portion of the gaming community is going to want to play theoretically, right? So like that in itself just amazes me that it's sold as well as it had. I don't blame I don't blame it. Like that doesn't surprise me necessarily because this game was so hyped and because this game like is just really good. But it just amazes me that so many people have flooded onto Elden Ring.
Right. Like I kind of wasn't surprised it was the best-selling game of February. Like I figured it was either going to be this or Horizon. And the only reason, like if it surpassed Horizon, it would be most likely because it's multi-platform.
Yeah.
Like that certainly helps things for sure. But what really surprised me was that it was the second biggest launch of any title released in the past 12 months, coming second to Call of Duty. It is the 5th best-selling game of any release in the past 12 months. I'll pull up Matt Piscatella from NPDs. He's the one who pull out, whenever the NPDs come around, he does his thread on them all. And I'll get to like the graph, the table he has with the best-selling games for the past 12 months in a moment. But so we know Elden Ring, number 1 for February. Number 2, It is going to be obviously
Horizon.
Number 2 is Horizon for February. Number 3, what do you think number 3 is? This game did not come out in February. It came out this year though.
Games that come out
Big
this
game.
year, but not in February. Big game came out in January. Arceus.
Yes, number 3, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Bumped down from the number 1 spot of January. Obviously makes sense.
Yeah.
Number 4 spot. This is a February game.
Sifu.
No, Sifu was not on the list.
Other games came out in February.
It came out before for Sifu. Not long before.
Oh, Dying Light.
Yes, Dying Light, number 4. Number 5, Total War Warhammer 3. Number 6 is Call of Duty Vanguard, bumped down from number 2. At number 7, we have Madden, NFL 22. Number 8, this is a game that has been out for years. Years and years and years.
Mario Kart.
Yes, it's still making money.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8 at number 8.
Me.
Number 9 is FIFA, 10 Minecraft. What about number 11 was Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Oh, that's
good on Marvel Spider-Man right there.
Interesting, actually. I wonder if that's an interesting point. I wonder if those games still sell. I mean, obviously, like they're still going to sell on because they're good games. But I wonder if that has a direct correlation with the number of PS5 sold, because I imagine that's one of the games that people are going to buy.
When you buy a PS5, you buy that.
Yeah,
probably. There probably is a correlation for sure between those. Yeah. Just some other notables from February as a whole. We got GTA, the GTA Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, at number 16, jumping all the way up from 57 in January. That is a giant jump right there. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearls on the list at number 18, bumped down from 11. Breath of the Wild's here at number 20, bumped up from 27. Interesting month for February right there as a whole.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised Sifu isn't on that list.
Well, I mean, it's a smaller indie game. It's not like as high profile, big name as some of the others. So I mean, it makes sense to me. Like I wasn't expected it to be up here, like top 20 at all in any way, shape, or form. Like people were excited for it, but like it's still a smaller indie game.
Yeah, I think I just thought it would be in the top 20 because like you say, people were excited for it and PlayStation put like a little bit of marketing into it. So
yeah,
I kind of figured it. I mean, it doesn't necessarily super surprise me that it isn't, just because like you say, it's a smaller game, but I thought it would be.
Yeah. In terms of year to date so far, so basically sales for 2022 up to this point, so January and February, Elden Ring is number 1. Of course, we already said that. Pokemon, number 2. Horizon's number 3. Vanguard's number 4. Dying Light is at number 6. Monster Hunter Rise is at number 7. But that's because of the PC release. It can release on PC. So there's that. God of War, 9. Because, PC release for that as well. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales is at number 10. Some interesting little things here. Battlefield is at number 20. Dropped all the way down from 10th place. Interesting right there.
Yeah.
All right. Now I just want to throw up the past 12 months ending in February 2022, right? And I do this just because I want to add context for the Elden Ring thing as being like the 5th best selling of the past 12 months. So, COD Vanguard, number 1. Yeah. Number 2 is going to be Madden NFL 22. Not a surprise. Number 3, Black Ops Cold War. So the top 3 are like games that are always like, top, like that's not too surprising, is what it is. Number 4 is not one of those like, oh, that's there. What do you think number 4 is?
Halo?
Not Halo.
Not Halo. Games came out in the last year.
In the past 12 months. So February of last year to February of this year.
I'm gonna say I don't know purely because my mind is blanking on like any games that have released in the last 12 months.
Number 4, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
I thought it would have been Arceus.
Nope, that's that one. Okay, hold on. Sorry, my brother was telling me that my washing machine stopped, so I'm gonna go take care of that in just a moment. After we finish going through this real quick.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Elden Ring, right there. Number 5. Number 6, Battlefield 2042.
Okay.
7 was Far Cry 6. 8 was Mario Kart 8. 9 was Village. And then 10 was FIFA 22.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised Village made it on that list just because of the other games that have released in the last 12 months from February. But like, it also doesn't surprise me because Village is a really good game.
That's all I've heard. So I've heard. And one of these days, maybe I'll get around to playing it. I don't know. We'll see. I still got to finish 7 first before I get to that one. So time will tell.
I think I've mentioned this before, but because it never came out, I did write a review for Village and I gave it an 8.
Yeah, you did. You did mention on the show a couple times before.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so with seeing how well Elden Ring has just like done in terms of sales and everything, kind of begs the question, like, is it going to get a sequel? Do we get an Elden Ring 2? So, I mean, we've had Dark Souls got a whole trilogy. Bloodborne and Sekiro were one and dones, unless a Bloodborne 2 happens at some point. But Elden Ring, I mean, do we think it gets a sequel, or do we think it joins, Bloodborne and Sekiro and being like really critically acclaimed and all, but it's just a one thing? Or do you think like they'll see the sales and be like, you know what, we want to do more in this world, especially with just like all the lore and everything that's in it and stuff? Like, do you think that it gets a sequel? You haven't beaten the game, of course, so I mean, maybe the story stuff and all that hints at this more, but what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a bit as far from beating the game as you can possibly get, but
not as far as I am.
Well, yeah, true.
I don't even have the thing.
I mean, I would like to think so. I mean, when you look at how well the Souls games did, and they had 3 of those. I mean, yes, like you say, Bloodborne and Sekiro were kind of one and dones, but I would like to think that because this game has sold so well and they've seen like how critically acclaimed and like fan acclaimed really it is, I would like to think that they say, okay, let's maybe explore this world a bit more. Its Metacritic score has dropped to 96 from 98, 97.
It was 98 like at one point on launch on the day reviews went live. Then it settled at 97.
Yeah, so it's down to 96 now, which like is still not an easy thing to achieve. So props on that. Like especially like two and a bit weeks after launch. But yeah, I would like to think it gets a sequel. I think there's, I mean, like you say, there's definitely enough lore there to make a sequel on.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to happen. I would be surprised if it did not happen. Honestly, that would just be a shock to me if we didn't get an Elden Ring 2. Because I mean, this, open world Souls game, that you have all this lore there behind it as well. Like, I'm sure that they might want to expand on that lore. And even if they don't want to expand on it, like, I'm sure that there's enough for them to like continue like diving into it all. Like it seems like the world of Elden Ring is just primed to be really just explored more. So I think that it definitely happens. Now let's dig into PlayStation's top 20 games for the month of February. PlayStation's top 20. We already said for Horizon's number 1, Elden Ring is number 2. And I mean, Dying Light's number 3. Spider-Man's number 6 on here. Ghost of Tsushima's number 8. I think that that's all well and good. I think the real conversation point for Sony's for PlayStation is that Horizon's number 1. Not only was it the second best-selling game of February, and not only did it take the top spot for PlayStation, but with dollar sales of the PS5 version of the game, it set a launch month record for the biggest PS5 launch yet. So it's like, that goes to show that even though it kind of launched before Elden Ring and then got overshadowed like overnight, it seems like that Horizon still found an audience of sorts. We don't know the official sales numbers, but it found an audience and people really love that game. A lot of people bought it and a lot of people are enjoying it and having a great time with it and all. It also does beg the question though of, would Horizon have been number 1 for the month if it was on PC? I saw,
See,
I think it was Jez Corden over at Windows Central saying that um Elden Ring being the best-selling game for February is more reason for Sony to do games day and date on PC. Because Sony, they want their games to sell like big numbers and all like
yeah,
that. And they would have loved to be like, our Horizon was the best-selling game of February. I really wonder if it would have been number one if it was on PC as well, day and date.
I don't think it would, purely because like I just for my like interest, I googled Elden Ring sales figures, and um apparently Elden Ring, and I don't know if this is fact or not, but apparently Elden Ring has sold 10 million copies on Steam alone. So
Interesting.
that's from Game Rant. So I don't think, even if it had been on PC, I don't think it would have been number one. I do think it would have absolutely closed the gap by a significant margin between Horizon and Elden Ring, but I don't think it would have been number one.
So, what do you think? Do you think that Sony's gonna see the sales numbers like this and everything? Do you think that they're actually gonna let this influence, like, all right, maybe we should do day and date for our games in the near future? By near future, I say it's 2022 now. 2023, 2024, we start seeing some games day and date on PC? Or do you think that maybe they're just like, no, we're gonna stick to our guns because PlayStation, like our consoles, where we want people to go to play the games, and like we don't necessarily, we would love to be number one, but like when you have the luck of Horizon and you end up releasing within like
Yeah.
days or a week of a generation changing game, like an industry changing game, it's just like you kind of SOL in a
Yeah.
sense. Like it's nothing. It's like it's nothing against the game or anything. It's just
No.
like the luck of the dice, really.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to think that PlayStation are going to start doing day and date releases on PC, because I mean, obviously they want their games to sell as well as they possibly can, and it will allow like a lot more people to play their games. So I don't really see a downside other than like your elitist PlayStation fans. Oh, you can't release it on PC. That's the only like downside I can see. But
Yeah.
like other than that, there isn't really a downside to releasing your games day and date on PC.
Yeah. I guess just that it takes away that need to have a PlayStation console for some, and they want people to buy the console.
Yeah.
And that's like, that is where they want you. At least that's where they want you to be. Like if they don't necessarily mind if you play games on PC, but they want like you to have that PlayStation experience with PlayStation Studios games on PlayStation consoles.
Yeah.
That's what they want it to be, at least when the game first comes out. Like once the game has run its course, run its life cycle, then it's like, all right, PC people have it, enjoy it there too. Like we're double dip over there. But like they want like that core experience to be on console. I could see that being like the only reason they don't do day and date unless they really see like, all right, the tea leaves are really moving in this direction. We got to do this. And I mean, Jim Ryan has said for a while now, like they're looking to expand past the consoles. So I think that it's something that will come sooner rather than later. It's just a matter of how soon.
Yeah, and I don't think it would necessarily like diminish the sales of PlayStation, because the only people who are going to buy it on PC are the people who already have a PC, right? People aren't going to go out and build a PC to play, like just for instance, like your God of War Ragnarok came to PC day and date. People aren't going to go out and build a PC to play that game, because you're spending $1,500+ at least to be able to get a PC that's going to run that game well, versus spending $500 on a PS5. The only thing that I think would kind of jeopardize that is like finding a PS5, but at the same time, you can't find graphics cards right now. So like then for a market that kind of say like graphics cards became more available than PS5s did, then that might skew it in PC's favor. But at the same time, I mean, like I say, people aren't going to go and spend $1,500, $2,000 to play a game when you could go and spend $500.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Just take a jump over to Xbox's top 20. Well, not top 20, top 10 for Xbox in February. I mean, Elden Ring's not number one, nothing
Yeah.
too notable over there. Forza is at 6 and Halo is at 7. Coming under both Call of Duty games, Vanguard 2, Cold War at 5, Madden at 20, Madden at 4, and Dying Light at 3. And then over on Nintendo's list for February. Of course, Nintendo, they only do physical sales for NPDs. They don't report their digital sales.
Yeah.
So of course, Nintendo's numbers could be higher for certain games and all, but Pokemon number 1 for February for Switch, Mario Kart 8 number 2, Super Mario Party Superstars number 3, New Horizons from Animal Crossing number 4, Smash 5, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl is 6, Breath of the Wild 7, Super Mario 3D World is at 8, Just Dance 2022 is number 9, and New Super Mario Brothers is number 10. So Pokemon doing numbers over there, and of course, when the new one, when Scarlet and Violet come out end of the year, it's going to be number 1 over there for sure for quite a while. So, and then I imagine we'll have 3 Pokemon games on the NPDs maybe for Nintendo, unless Scarlet and Violet just utterly negates Diamond and Pearl, since they're both kind of mainline games right there. But those February NPDs, I think it just can't be stated enough. Just like the impact of Elden Ring on the industry and the community, from the crazy sales numbers that Elden Ring has already put up, to the reception it's gotten from critics and fans, to just how people are falling in love with its open world and all, and the way that this game, it's just like, again, this, like we said before, this is kind of like the From Software game to break through to the mainstream at launch.
Yep.
Like day one, it's just like, all right, everyone's in on it. Everyone's trying it out. Even those who aren't necessarily Souls people, like they're all on the bandwagon from day one, including Keiran.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's very, really awesome. I'm happy to see the game succeed as well as it has. I'm happy to see From Software have like this giant hit on their hands. I look forward to playing the game at some point whenever I have time, just to get around to it, whenever I feel up to the challenge of giving that game a go. I'm hoping I'll enjoy it whenever I get around to it. I just have to fight the FOMO for like the next month and a half, and then maybe I can get to it in like April, May-ish. That's the thing that's getting to me now. Like that FOMO is I want to play it, but I'm like, don't do it. You don't have the time to. You have other things you need to do, or not play Elden Ring. So we'll see what happens with that. Any final thoughts on the NPDs?
No, I mean, it's always interesting to see like what's selling well, what maybe isn't selling so well. Quick question. So if you take for fact the Game Rat article that says that Elden Ring has sold 10 million copies on Steam alone, what do you reckon the total sales numbers are? If you had to guess.
Somewhere, I gotta look this up because that doesn't sound right at all. Like, I'm pretty sure I think I saw somewhere on Twitter that I could have swore I saw somewhere someone said that like it was 2 point something million on one console, 2 point something or another or whatever. Let's see. I mean, I'm looking at the Game Rant article that you mentioned, and I mean, again, it's not that this isn't official.
No.
So 10 million confirmed. It's not confirmed. I mean, it's possible. It's I'm not gonna say it's not possible, but hey, who knows? If it did sell 10 million, then I would guess that the total numbers overall is probably gonna be somewhere around like, I'd say maybe somewhere around like 15 million-ish.
Yeah, I mean
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say as well. Like anywhere between 15 and 20 million is, I reckon, where the game would have landed. But I don't think that 10 million number is far off the mark. I think if that is wrong and it sold less, I don't think it sold less by much because this game was like so widely anticipated.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's, again, just Elden Ring is a monster.
Yep.
Elden Ring is a monster filled with a number of monsters in it that are out to kill you. So if you're excited to give it a go, test your luck on them in the lands between. By all means, give it a go. Let us know how you're enjoying the Elden Ring as well in the comment section. Let us know if you're having fun with it. If you're enjoying the game, how far you are, how many runs you've done. Are you on your third run, your fourth, your first? How is it going for you? Let us know those things down below in the comment section. But that's all the stories we have this week. So all the main stories we have. And we'll move on to what we've been playing this week. Keiran, as he said before, very busy week. Has not played anything this week because life comes at you fast.
Yep.
Life comes at you fast and school comes at you faster. So it's been a ride for him.
Yeah, no, like the entire week, the Elden Ring box has been sitting on my desk since I showed it last week. It's been sitting staring at me for the last week, like, play me. You want to, just come on, just play me. And I'm like, I would love to, I really would, but school
play me for an hour.
Priorities.
Play me for an hour. It's okay. You want to.
It's been so tech because like my desk is here, my TV's right there. Like it's been real tempting, but I've showed some restraint.
What you got to do is you got to just yeet it out the room, just like yeet it out the window or something, or put it in a drawer so you can't see it.
Yeah.
So this week I finished Horizon. I finished it, I think maybe the day we recorded last week's episode. Pretty sure it was the same day we recorded it. I finished it that night, and it was I'm not gonna say much because I'm saving my thoughts for the review, and I'm still kind of formulating my thoughts. But overall, I really enjoyed the game, and the review, like it's complicated because I really enjoyed the game, but there are some aspects of it where I'm like, my feelings are a bit conflicted, and I'm not sure how I feel about certain things, right? Specifically the story. Like the story, I enjoy the story, but there are some aspects where I'm like, I wish this was done better. I don't know how I really feel about this, but the story as a whole is great. But this and that and the third, I'm trying to work through those thoughts and feelings right now in relation to like the game and how I feel about the game overall. But I enjoyed it. I am looking forward to the third game because the third game is very clearly going to happen based on the end of this one. So I'm looking forward to that. What?
Yeah. So I thought, well, I agree with you, even though I haven't finished it yet. But I'm like going off of the sales numbers. Yeah, the third one's gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's kind of part of my thoughts on the ending. Part of why I'm like, I like stuff, but I'm also not really liking certain things, with the ending and all. So it's a bit complicated and stuff. But I had a funny thing happen to me when I was playing Forbidden West. And it was near the end of the game, and I'm kind of stalling a bit for Keiran because he's chatting with a family member off screen. So I'm trying to stall a bit so I can have him hear this story. So I'll jump over to a different thing real quick while I still talk about Horizon and he's chatting over here. I'll just say that. Oh wait, you good? You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. So I can tell the story I wanted to tell in the first place. What? Everything's all good.
My sister is lingering at my door, staring at me while I record. It's kind of off-putting, but hey.
That's very weird. Was that her who just blowed her nose?
Yep.
That is okay. That's very creepy. Anyway, I had this weird bug happen to me when I was playing Forbidden West, and I shared it on Twitter. I put spoilers on it as well because the cutscene that happens, it happens at the end of the game, right? Near the end of the game, right? And I might show it in the review, but like I might do it in a way where you don't realize that like it's a spoiler or whatever, because what's happening is a spoiler in a sense because of who's involved. The video on Twitter shows who's involved. But I might show it in the review because like you just gotta see this to understand. There was a cutscene where I was doing a fight, right? And I'm doing this fight, and then you know how some games like when you like hit a certain threshold in a fight, then like it's like, oh, a cutscene that transitions you into the next part of the fight. That happened, except the entire cutscene played in slow motion.
Oh,
Like the entire thing played in slow motion, but the audio did not. So
oh
like
no.
the audio moved at the normal speed for whatever was happening in that moment on the screen.
Yeah.
But the character, everything else, the video was just slow motion. Thankfully, here's the thing. It wasn't a long cutscene. Like grand scheme, if it was moving in natural real time, it was probably like 30 seconds, 30 seconds to a minute long, maybe. But because it was in slow motion, this lasted about like maybe like 5 minutes or so. It was slow. I was just like, oh boy. Oh man, that's annoying. And like I it was the only time it's happened to me in the entire game. And I've had bugs throughout the game, right? Like some bugs happen. And I was like, oh, you know, like some of these things, you know, that like they're a bit annoying or whatever, but not the worst thing. But then this one happened. I was like, all right, I can't like I was like, what the heck? What the heck? Like, and it's humorous. It was a humorous one because I was like, all right, this is funny. And also, again, the cutscene was not that long, so it wasn't that bad, but it was just like, why is this moving slow motion right now? Like, what the heck? It was weird. It was very weird. If you've beaten the game and you want to see the cutscene I'm talking about, check my Twitter. If you have not beaten the game and do not care about spoilers, also check my Twitter. If you have not beaten the game and care about spoilers, don't check my Twitter because you'll see like what's going on and yeah. But I might throw that into the review just because like you got it. Like I might throw it in. I'm still torn about it. I think there's certain shots in that cutscene that I could put in the review without like spoiling anything about like what's actually going on. So yeah, overall though, I've enjoyed Forbidden West. I'm gonna be working on the review over the weekend. I'm hoping I can have it done and out by Friday the 18th. That's the plan. If not, then I'm hoping it could be done and out by the 19th, which is a week from today as of recording. That's the plan. I'm hoping to have this out within the next week. If that happens, whether or not that happens is a different story, but that is the plan as of right now. The review is coming soon. That's the point of all this. The review is coming soon. It's on the way. And that's where you'll get my full thoughts on Horizon Forbidden West. Simple as that. With all that being said, though, that's all I played this week. I wanted to play other stuff, but at the same time, I do need to jump back into Horizon and maybe capture some footage of a few other things, do a couple other stuff in the game as well. Just to have more footage really for the review.
Yeah.
Really. But after that, after I finish that, it's just back to grinding on Kingdom Hearts stuff for my project with that and just going on from there. It's gonna be busy time. But the next actual game I will be playing most likely will be Ghost of Tsushima. And Ghost of Tsushima for sure. Not Ghost of Tsushima. Freaking Ghostwire Tokyo. Blink on mix. Ghostwire Tokyo will be the next game I for sure play. Kirby might be there as well. And I'm also thinking of games I want to get for my Switch. I might get Crosscode on my Switch. I might get Doki Doki Literature Club Plus for my Switch. What's the other one? There's another one. I'm blanking on it right now. There was some other game for the Switch that I wanted to get.
Pokemon?
Pokemon Legends Arceus. Yes, I do want to get that one.
Yeah.
But I was specifically thinking of one to download from the eShop. Not that. I have that on PlayStation Plus. I'm not going to download it on the Switch. There was some other game for the Switch I wanted to get. Ooh, that does remind me. There's this game, something music festival. There's an indie game. I forgot the full name of it.
I also can't remember. I know what game you're on.
It came out last week. I want to get that one. I might get it on the Switch or the PS5. I have not decided yet, but I do want to get that too. It's called like Somethingville, a music festival story or something like that.
Somerville?
No, you're thinking of a very different game. gosh, what is this game's name? I wrote it down too. Did I write it down? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
What? Hang on. When did it come out?
It came out beginning of March 3rd, I believe is when it came out. Hold on. No, I don't want to close this tab. I want this tab open so I can read my hero later on. Music festival Switch. This will tell me what it is. It's okay. No, that's not going to tell me what it is because there's other games that have that name. March.
Yeah, that's all as well.
Man, yeah, I'm blanking on it. Did I screen? Oh wait, no, I screenshotted it. I know that for a fact because I knew I could have.
No.
Did I screenshot it?
Here we go. A musical story.
We found it at the exact same time. Yes, it's called a musical story. There's something else I see it as part of the title, but yes, a musical story. I want to get that game. I'm just trying to see so many games I want to play. Not enough time for any of them, or money for any of them. Got to balance things. So I'll be playing a variety of things at some point in the near future. Yeah. That was a whole lot of stuff to say. This is the end of the episode. This is the end of the podcast. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching and/or listening. You can follow us over on Twitter at Play to Win Game or on Instagram at Play to Win Game for updates on the show, other things that we may or may not post over there. Follow us, chat with us over there. We're kind people. We like to talk with you all. You can also check us out, Play to Win Games.wordpress.com. It's our site, home for all of our content. If you want to read the written versions of our previews and reviews, you can go there for that. So when I do my Horizon review, when that comes out, if you would like to read the written version of it instead of watch the video, you could do that. Or if you want to watch the video and read at the same time, you can do that too over on playtowingames.wordpress.com. It's crazy how that works, right? It's awesome. Yeah. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you are here. Hit that like button. Leave a comment as well. Again, let us know how far you are in Elden Ring. Let us also know what you thought of Horizon Forbidden West. Or maybe leave those comments for the review. But let us know how far you are in Elden Ring. And, what you think. Do you think it's going to get a sequel? Who knows? So do all that. Share the episode with anyone and everyone. Turn on notifications on YouTube. And also subscribe on podcast services as well. I'm not going to plug the other thing I was going to plug just because I want to wait till next week to do it. I was going to plug episode, this is 49, so 51. The episode we're doing 2 weeks from now. Okay. I was gonna, the one that we're recording on the 26th. Yeah. I was gonna plug that one, but I want to wait till next week to do it. So I'll wait till then to do that one. That's all that. Keiran, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Badlynet, BADLYNET, all one word. If anyone does follow me on Twitter, you will have seen that I am going to start streaming again, although I'm going to be streaming me learning how to code with Code Gallery. So if anyone's interested in that, or wants to learn to code along with me, then follow me on Twitch.
Nice. Definitely go check that out, people. It seems like it'll be interesting. Nice learning experience, a fun learning experience, hopefully. So by all means, go check him out over there. And I'm sure he'll be tweeting out when he's going to be streaming and all. So keep an eye locked to Keiran's Twitter. To his Twitter and his Twitch. That way you know when he's going live and stuff. You can follow me over on Twitter at Tyler Miller 2496. Again, you all know what I tweet. I tweet about different games, movies, anime, shows, stuff like that. I tweet about those things. So follow me, chat with me about any of those things or other things. I also like talking about music too. So we can talk about anything. With all that being said, though, thank you all so very much for watching and or listening. We will talk to you all next time. Have a great one.
See you later.